Hello everybody, welcome back, I'm MrRedClaw. Welcome back to an episode of Formula 1 2021 My Team Career, this time for the Canadian Grand Prix. Before we get to mine, head down below, like and subscribe to this part a lot, and let's get right into it. So here we are out around for a flying lap around the circuit to Gilles Villeneuve. One of, if not my favourite track in all of, Formula 1 right now. I've said it multiple times, but Sector 1, nice and flowing. Sector 2, really good corners as well, and, a little bit of a flat out space there. And of course Sector 3 basically fully flat out. Really fun track, really fun just to drive in qualifying and during the race. There's spaces to overtake. I guess last season it was kind of a DRS train, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. In the game sometimes it's like that as well, but if you are in a little bit of a fast car, Sector 2, Sector 3, that's where you can overtake. Maybe even sometimes in Turn 1 and stuff like that, I guess we are going to be seeing during the race. But currently we are up 1.5 tenths with a purple first and second sector. Are we going to be able to put this car on pole for, I think, the first time this season? But I guess we're going to see as we cross the line, just over 1/10 gained. Not really sure if it was a purple last sector, but it is enough for P2. 54 milliseconds behind our teammate Carlos Sainz in P1 and Yuki Tsunoda in P3. But I guess let's see what we can do during the race and hope for some points.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on a circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and red completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Gasly, Jack Aitken and Verstappen, Vettel, Leclerc, Norris and Valtteri Bottas, Delatraz, Ricciardo and Guan Yu Zhou and Ocon, Giovinazzi, Stroll, George Russell and Nobuharu Matsushita, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Lundgaard and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So here we are lined up in P2, and as you can see, it is basically raining, and we are starting on the intermediate tyres for this race as it's lights out and away we go. Of course, this being a 25% race, and of course, being on intermediate, as we see Yuki Tsunoda crash into the side of Carlos Sainz, our teammate, and actually spins out right to the back of the field. I was just talking about tyres and all of that stuff, but Yuki Tsunoda really just wanted to go for it, send it down the inside of our teammate, makes contact with him. There's a virtual safety car, and as we can see, not really too much else happening on that first lap. But as we move on towards lap 2, we actually set a fastest lap time just after Carlos Sainz sets a faster lap time. So that's it's basically us two fighting for the win over here at the moment. But yes, as I was saying before, Yuki Tsunoda just dive bomb the side of Carlos Sainz. This being a 25% race, and of course us on the inters, it means that basically there isn't going to be enough tyre wear for us to need to make a pit stop in this race. And it's basically going to be a zero pit stop race, which kind of takes out the fun out of it, because 25% races are kind of short, on the shorter side, and when you do have the inters on, if you aren't starting further back and have a fast car to kind of fight your way through the field, it can get quite boring because it's basically you with maybe your teammate or another fast car ahead of you. You can't really overtake them because you don't have DRS or anything like that to help you. And the people behind you are basically already 2.6 seconds away, as Jack Aitken is on lap 4 and Max Verstappen and the other Red Bull 3 seconds, as we nearly spin out over there. I was really close, but I managed to hold on to the car over there, not spin it, which is good because well, we are fighting for the win with our teammate Carlos Sainz over here. We could win this race quite easily if we don't mess up, as on lap 6, or 5 going on to 6, we actually set another fastest lap time. By 69 milliseconds we improve, but that's enough to get the better lap time. And it's basically just going to be me over the course of the 18 laps trying to get closer to Carlos Sainz, getting closer, then making a mistake, then falling back, and then that repeating over and over again. As we can see, lap 6 going on 7, Carlos Sainz sets a fastest lap time, but then we immediately set a faster one. But as we are going to see over here, I'm really trying to fight for this win, and well, just really pushing my hardest. And as we can see over here, nearly losing the car, basically pulling off a Guan Yu Zhou from the Monaco Grand Prix, just basically having the car sideways, but he even had it like about 30 degrees sideways. It was absolutely amazing to see him actually take down the control. But yes, nearly spinning out. Lap 8, Carlos Sainz sets the fastest lap. We fall back 1.4 seconds away from him, but of course we are trying to fight back, and I think we do have the better pace than us. But of course, this being a wet weather race, it's harder to actually get the overtake. And actually kind of made a mistake, I guess you could call it, in the setup, as we see on lap 13 trying to get down the inside of Carlos Sainz, but he kind of blocks us off. I actually made contact, luckily no damage for either of us though. But as you can see on lap 13, trying to figure out different lines, maybe get a better exit down the back straight over here, and it's kind of working, I guess. Really have to just pull off every single kind of thing that I know to try and get past Sainz. And at lap 15 over here, going on to 16, we get the better run out of the final corner and into the first corner. We are side by side, around the outside, and up ahead into P1, ahead of our teammate Carlos Sainz. Finally we managed to make it work. 16 laps. And basically I've been trying to, you know, get to overtake him every single lap. We had the better pace, as we are going to pull away now. But, you know, just the wet red races, and my kind of mistake in the setup, I kind of I moved the front wing from a 6 to a 7, and that basically lost me all of the straight line speed that I would get without the ERS, which basically meant that without using ERS, I was basically losing time to the sides, even if I was in his slipstream. But here we are on the final lap, the final corner, making it through. We managed to build a 2-second gap to Carlos Sainz as we cross the line and win our first back-to-back race on this game.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
That's it then for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
So we win once again, and it's our teammate Carlos Sainz in second place, with Jack Aitken finish off the podium in P3. We get the fastest lap time as well, so we get an extra point for that, moving up the driver standings to P1, 5 points ahead of Gasly, 7 ahead of Max Verstappen, and 13 ahead of Carlos Sainz. In the constructor standings, we pull further ahead of Red Bull, and Alfa Romeo overtake Williams, but still both on 0 points. But for now, that is going. So if you guys enjoyed, like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.